I was just going to say, Larry, that the way that the technology allowed us to develop those two incredible, all of them really, but the messenger RNA technology is pretty facile and it's adaptable. So I'm very optimistic that and we all need to continue to worry about variants, and we've got to worry about any type of new strain of anything, not just coronavirus, I would imagine.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I understand that, but I'm also very optimistic about our ability in terms of medical science to handle that. I'm wondering why the acceptance of MMT, basically, de facto, by everyone here and everyone around the world, and it sounds like you got $9 trillion that you print enough of it, it's going to be like your $9 trillion is really only going to be worth about $4.5 trillion in 2 years. You know, I'm exaggerating, but you see my point.
I understand.
To me, the biggest risk by far is not that it's a variant. It's just that we've gone, hog wild, and there seemed to be no caution whatsoever about money printing.
Joe, I have that fear too. I am very optimistic on our technology. I am incredibly bullish on the markets, and you're right to be worried about our deficits. Our deficits right now are not a big issue, and that's what the markets are saying. And they're not a big issue because the amount of money that's on the sideline, the amount of capital that is trying to be put to work. But there will be a moment if we don't have economic growth, if we don't have economic growth that is sustainable over the next 10 years, and I'm saying economic growth that is above 3%, our deficits are going to matter, and they are going to elevate interest rates at some time, and they are going to be probably crowding out private capital. And so you're right in worrying about that. I worry about that. Is that a worry for me at this moment? No. But if we don't...
The growth, Larry, sorry to interrupt again, but the growth is going to be hard. If rates were to go up, and who knows, I can't believe that they have not, and there's a lot of reasons for that, obviously. But if they were to go up, let's say 2 full percentage points, the amount of debt service that we're going to be spending, that's where you don't get the growth you're looking for anymore. So it's almost like self-fulfilling that you're not going to be able to get that growth because too much of what you're producing is being spent just to maintain what you've already borrowed.
I agree with you. That is a big risk. I wish we talk about this more because we need to be focused on these issues, and you're right to think about it. Let's be clear. Most of the stimulus that we've had in the last year plus is a stimulus to bridge our economy during COVID. And none of that money really is for long-term investing. It was to bridge families and companies. If we are going to do any more stimulus, we need to make sure the stimulus is not for bridging anymore, but building our economy and building a better future so we can have that growth. The one area where I do believe we are going to see exceptional growth, and Joe, you highlighted our success in technology in these vaccinations. I'm actually very optimistic about the issues around climate change and climate risk. I am very optimistic about American capitalism and how we are going to solve new technologies for transition risks. There are estimates that we're going to have to spend $50 trillion to get to a net zero world. I actually believe it's going to be less because we are going to revolutionize new technologies. And I'm very excited about the opportunities to focus on technologies to create green hydrogen and other things. And let me just finish one point. I actually believe in the coming years, Squawk Box and CNBC is going to be spending time talking about environmental unicorns, these companies that are focused on creating green hydrogen, companies that have new technology for sequestering carbon. This is not just a problem that so many people focus on the problem We are spending time focusing on what are the opportunities, what are the investment opportunities. Right. We launched the fund with the Temasek Sovereign Wealth Fund on a decarbonization fund for early stage investing. So I'm looking at all this as a real positive.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.